All right, the Seahawks are facing the Bengals in what I think will be a great matchup in Cincinnati. The Bengals are favored. I think they should be favored. This comes down to me to one fact, and this is before the fantasy equation, but the Seahawks need to be able to score enough points to win this game.
You know who I love this week?
I want to know.
Oh, please say Jimmy Graham for some reason.
The Bengals defense.
There you go.
I love them this week. The Seattle
No
line,
Lynch, possibly.
They just see the Seattle is lost. Their offense is non-existent. They won a game last week against the Lions because of one spectacular play by Russell Wilson where he was 50% sacked, shrugged out of it, dodged another sack, just threw the ball to the receiver, and the DB for Detroit bit and tried to get the pick, and instead it turned into a huge play. So it was just a miraculous play on 3 accounts. If without that, the Seattle did nothing the entire
And now
day
they go on
offense
the road. They're
against
in Cincinnati.
a ridiculous defense. They are going. I see at least 4 or 5 sacks coming.
I
for the
agree.
Bengals.
I completely agree with you, and I think they'll be in a position where he has to hold the ball and he has to throw the ball.
Yes.
Yeah, it's going to be tough. Here's the guy that I'm really
So do
curious.
you start Wilson?
No.
So you're benching Wilson. Would you go Wilson or Alex Smith?
Alex Smith.
Really, even with you don't think Wilson can make it up on the ground?
He might be able to. Alex Smith is closer. If you were going to ask between Russell Wilson and my super stinky garbage man stream of the week, I'm taking Josh McCown.
Okay, that would be bold.
I don't know if my rankings currently
That's
say that,
that's a glory
check.
play right there, where somebody looks against you. Oh, he's
my
starting
rankings. My rankings say that I've got Josh McCown considerably higher than Russell Wilson, who I've got. Russell Wilson I've got at 15 because this is a terrible matchup. So here's the guy that I'm really, really curious about. We talked about him yesterday. I dropped him in a couple leagues just because he's got a bad schedule for the next 2
You
weeks.
dropped AJ Green?
No, Andy Dalton. Andy Dalton. So we went up against a great San Diego pass D, threw 3 touchdowns. He's shown that he's got enough weapons and enough time in the pocket. That offensive line has just completely let him have no pressure. He had no pressure on him against the Chiefs, who are a great pass rushing defense last week. So this is really this is my test of Andy Dalton this week. It's not in Seattle, but it's the great vaunted Seattle with Cam Chancellor back. What does he do this week? I cannot make out how good or bad Andy Dalton's going to be.
I think that I'm putting Dalton in the category I would have put Palmer in last week, which is on fire, at home, tough defense. So a mediocre game from Dalton, a passable game from Dalton is what I would expect. I wouldn't drop him to go stream a guy that might be in that same category. I'd rather just roll him out and see what happens.
Yeah.
Because they've been on fire, and I don't mind riding that, the Red Rocket.
There you go.
All right. The Rams face off against the Packers. The Packers are also heavy favorites in this game. This is another, can the Rams possibly score enough points against the Packers defense? This is in Lambeau, am I right?
You are correct.
So this might get ugly.
Yeah. Yeah.
So do we is there anybody, Gurley? Okay, give me Gurley's rundown because he had a huge week last week, but they were playing from ahead, holding on to a lead. They certainly want to give him the ball, but is this going to be something where game flow could disappoint you with Todd Gurley?
Absolutely.
Yeah, absolutely. I have Todd Gurley ranked. I went this morning. We did our rankings and we stat them, but we don't really look them over until today. And I had Todd Gurley at number 5 because I believe he is that level of a talent. But then I started looking at the matchup and thinking he's going to Green Bay. Green Bay's defense has been very good this year, very balanced. They haven't given up a lot, especially at home. And like you said, Andy, I mean, you've got the best quarterback in the NFL, maybe soon to be of all time. At home, he doesn't throw picks. They're going to be up. How do you keep handing the ball off to Todd Gurley in the 3rd and 4th quarter like the way that you did last week? So this could be a very big disappointment game. I would still play him. I would definitely. If he's on my roster, I'm putting him in. But I've got to temper expectations.
Are you chasing the points from Tavon Austin?
No.
Not in this match.
Yeah, neither am I.
So let's roll this out. Todd Gurley, Frank Gore.
I would play Frank Gore.
I would go Gurley.
Todd Gurley, Alfred Morris.
I would play Morris.
Okay. Todd Gurley.
Which tells me I need to adjust Gurley down a little bit in my rankings.
Yeah. Todd Gurley, Douglas Martin.
Ooh, I like Doug Martin.
I think I'd play Gurley over Martin.
Okay.
So
those are just three.
No,
guys
that's
I wanna
good.
check.
That's good. Anybody else that we need to talk about? James Jones, you're starting him. Randall Cobb, you're starting him.
Yes.
Ty Montgomery, you're not starting him.
No.
Correct.
Just
Yeah,
check-
what
I was
about-
just checking with Jason.
And what about Richard Rodgers? I mean, I think he had 5 catches.
Totally fine if you
and a
if you need.
touchdown.
Yeah, I'm totally fine if you need to roll him out there. He's at least the guy, and Rodgers is going to throw it to who's open. If you saw that that touchdown pass, if you want to summarize Aaron Rodgers, just watch the play against the 49ers, first touchdown of the game. Clay Matthews, he's dancing around the pocket.
Clay Matthews.
No, I'm sorry. Yeah.
Clay Matthews, rock and jock mid-team trade.
Yeah, they
Or
traded him
mid-game
over.
trade.
Sorry. No, he's in the pocket against San Francisco. Pass rush is there, dancing around, flicks the wrist, finds Richard Rodgers in the back. Just
Yes,
gorgeous.
it was
just
amazing.
gorgeous. A lot of people in the beginning of the year thought we were, or at least, did we all have Rodgers over Luck? We did, right?
I did, yeah.
Yep.
We all did, and we talked. We had people on the show. They to everybody else, it was a coin flip. On this show, it was never a coin flip.
What's
No,
going
there was
on
There
over
was
there?
a gap between. No, it's true. The
Well, yeah, I
argument
get-
we made,
okay,
the
so-
argument we made preseason was what we see here, which is Aaron Rodgers has, since he's been a starter, has been the number 1 or number 2 quarterback every single
Yeah,
year.
but Jason, he lost Jordy Nelson,
Yeah,
but he lost Devontae Adams.
oh no, he's still Aaron Rodgers, and the point is, so
Yeah, that's more tooting Rodgers' horn. That's
Oh,
not
okay.
tooting my
Oh,
horn.
okay.
I mean, we can toot ours a little bit, but Rodgers is the one that deserves the credit because he just does it over and over again. And give me that on my fantasy team. If I have to not stream a quarterback, it's Rodgers or stream. That's what
fair.
it is right now.
That's fair.
Or obviously Josh McCown. I'll just start Josh
well,
McCown.
I think you got to throw Tom Brady in there right now, but yeah.
No, you're right. Tom Brady's got to be there. All right, Jacksonville going to Tampa in America's game of the week. Or not. So, Winston, 7 interceptions in 4 games. Do you start the Jacksonville defense? Are they a streaming option in Tampa, or do you just avoid them?
yeah.
Because
I don't start them. I would start the Buccaneers defense. The Buccaneers defense pretty good. They're at home against the Jags that aren't world beaters. So I would be more willing to start Tampa's defense than Jack.
that's a good.
I agree with that.
Yeah. All right, so T.J. Yeldon, he is 3rd in the league in rushing attempts. He had 22 for over 100 yards last week. Are we fine rolling him out? I think we are.
I love Yeldon this week.
What about the running backs in Tampa? Do we like Martin? Do we like Sims? Do we start? I mean, I can't imagine starting both, so who's the guy that's going to do it?
Martin's the guy that you got to start. You look at this last week and you look at the last several weeks. He's had over 20 carries in 2 of the 4 games, and the other and then the game in between was 14 carries. He's getting the work and he's looked all right. Sims could break off, something through the air as he's done, but I would much rather have the guy that's getting 15 to 20 touches.
Sims was a popular waiver signing this week. He's also been very good in pass protection. He is the 3rd down back. He's the 6th best pass protector right now in the NFL as far as graded out on Pro Football Focus. So not saying that I disagree with you. GameFlow probably says Martin in this game. But in a PPR league, if you needed to roll out Sims on a bye, I'm okay.
What's funny, I was just talking about this. The Jags and the Bucs are the epitome of the defensive split where the Jaguars are 4th against the run, 26th against the pass. The Buccaneers are 2nd against the pass, 30th against the run.
Yeah.
Because a portion of their defense is just so weak that a team can stick to that. So
Jameis Winston, start
yes,
of the week.
I love Evans. I love Vincent Jackson this week. Let's look at the
I know. I want to talk about them too.
what?
The Jacksonville wide receivers.
Yes. Allen Hurns versus
Right now, season long, Hearns has been better,
yeah, he has.
even though Robinson's the more heralded. So rest of season, do we expect Robinson to still be the guy?
Yeah.
I still prefer Robinson, but my opinion of Hurns is really moving up.
I had that question. Somebody called in and asked about Allen Hurns. And my thought process is that when you have one of those plus cornerback matchups on Robinson, Hurns is a guy that you can really trust to get. I mean, because it's not like he didn't flash last year.
Yeah,
He
right.
had
His
big games,
and
big
his boom
touchdowns.
games.
He was the Ogletree last
The
year.
problem
Yeah,
is
he was.
he really
Week
is the
1.
number 2, and what you brought up last week with the reason why Allen Hurns was your start of the week, whereas the week prior we were like, oh, you can't reliably start Allen Hurns. Total targets this year between those two guys, Allen Robinson has 41 and Allen Hurns only has 30. So Allen Robinson is the more talented and more targeted guy. Last week was, I think, more of a matchup play. So it's definitely Robinson who you